which was opposed, as she knows, by the Organisation of Conservative Trade Unionists and was castigated some years ago by her right honourable friend, the member for North East Leeds, as conveying the image of Mr Gradgrind and Mr Bumble.
No one proposed to rob families in the ex-Chancellor's language. We are entitled to expect the union funds of those who go on strike to make a bigger contribution while their people are on strike, as they do in many other countries. That proposal is not specified in this particular gracious speech. This is the gracious speech for 1 year. There will be 4 other years, and even then, in case the right honourable gentleman should try to circumscribe us as to when we can go any further, anything we do would be covered in the famous other measures will be laid before you. But these that I have given are specific undertakings which my right honourable friend, the Secretary of State for Employment, is pursuing with the unions and which he hopes to introduce in a bill before Christmas. In these ways we will restore the balance between the power and responsibilities of trade unions.
Order!
May I get on?
Order! I don't think the Right Honourable Lady is giving way any more. Oh, she has. Oh, well.
I'm most grateful to the Right Honourable Lady. Would the Right Honourable Lady define for us where is the place of work of a lorry driver?
I have given some considerable thought to that, but I believe that the legislation itself could in fact define it. I know exactly what the honourable gentleman is suggesting, that the lorry is an extension of the premises. That would depend upon whether the legislation referred to premises and premises only. I doubt very much whether premises could be construed as a lorry. But as we've not even got doubtless in fact, the honourable member will take some considerable part in this legislation. As the bill hasn't even come before us yet, I doubt whether he can consider that every single thing is already defined.
Well, you said so.
No. I am a tax lawyer. An adventure in the nature of trade was never defined in tax law. It didn't prevent the courts from defining it. I turn now to constitutional matters, about which the Right Honourable Gentleman had something to say. We shall ask Parliament to approve the orders repealing the Scotland Act and the Wales Act. We shall do nothing to jeopardise the unity of the kingdom. We shall initiate all-party discussions aimed at bringing government in Scotland closer to the people, and we shall give Parliament an opportunity to consider ways of improving its scrutiny of Welsh affairs. Mr. Speaker, the gracious speech sets out the government's objectives for Northern Ireland. We shall maintain the union between Great Britain and Northern Ireland for as long as that is the wish of the majority of the people in the province. We shall give the strongest possible support to the security forces in combating terrorism and bringing before the courts those responsible for criminal activities. And there will be no amnesty for convicted terrorists. Politically, the government's most urgent task is to find a way of restoring to democratically elected representatives of the people of Northern Ireland a substantial measure of control over their own affairs. This will not be easy, as we all know, but it is an aim that we must pursue. Now I turn to defence and overseas matters. On defence, we give priority to defence because security is essential to our survival as a free nation. The quality of any system of defence depends first on the troops who man it. That's why we pay tribute to the men and women in our forces and the job they do for us all. And that's why in our first days of office, we fulfilled our promise to bring up their pay to the level recommended by the Armed Forces Pay Review Body. This will go a long way to stop the critical outflow of skilled manpower from the services. Now, despite the pressure on our resources, and our determination to control government expenditure, we shall affirm Britain's commitment to NATO. We shall ensure that the British nuclear forces, like their American and French counterparts, remain a factor which can't be ignored in the calculations of any potential aggressor. Now, I'm glad that the Right Honourable Gentleman noted what I said on Europe. I noted that he'd been complaining a great deal about the terms he renegotiated and how he'd handled them during the last 5 years. We believe that a strong Britain and a strong Europe can play a crucial part in the whole future of the West. And as I explained to our German partners recently, we see no contradiction between a vigorous and effective membership of the European community and vigorous and effective pursuit of Britain's interests within the community. And I'm sure that other countries have the same approach. There's nothing wrong in finding that after a certain number of years, policies need to be changed to meet new circumstances, or that anomalies which flow from them need to be corrected. But such necessary changes must be made by agreement amongst the member governments. But in making them, Mr. Speaker, we shall not undermine the community. We shall make it better able to serve the common interest and to be fair, just and reasonable to all its members. The Right Honourable Gentleman referred to the problem of Rhodesia, and I would like to address some remarks to that very serious problem. The government welcomes the major change that has taken place in Rhodesia as a result of the recent elections and the emergence of an African majority government. It's our objective to build on that change, to achieve a return to legality in conditions which secure wide international recognition. We have sent a senior foreign and Commonwealth official to Salisbury this week to have discussions with Bishop Muzorewa. We shall need to consult many people in the coming days and weeks, including, of course, our own partners in the Nine and in the Commonwealth. The United States government must be one of the first in view of their involvement in the Rhodesian question. And I'm therefore particularly glad that Mr. Vance will be here next week for talks with my noble friend, the Foreign and Commonwealth Secretary. I've seen my noble friend Lord Boyd following his return from leading a group of observers at the Rhodesian elections. He and his colleagues are completing their report, and I expect to receive it tomorrow. We shall hope to publish it. We must and will recognise the realities of the present situation in Rhodesia. We must and will take into account the wider international implications. I assure the House that we intend to proceed with vigour to resolve this issue. Mr. Speaker, the programme I've outlined of measures in both domestic and foreign policy is a programme for action for a 17-month session of Parliament. Our priorities are to restore the balance in our economy, to restore the balance between the individual and the state, to promote the freedom of the individual under the rule of law, and to defend our interests wherever they are challenged. These are the policies we submitted to the people. The path we now take is the path the people have chosen. Yeah.